And welcome back to Box Office Report. Today on the 12th of November 2023. I almost forgot the month. And I can't recall if I got the box office right this week. I'm pretty sure I got the first three right. I don't know about Priscilla. Needless to say, the Marvels debuts at number 1 with 47 million. Five Nights at Freddy's number 2 with 9 million. Taylor Swift's The Eras Tour still going with another 5.9 million for the number 3 spot. Priscilla made another 4.79 million. Got an extra grand worth of theaters though. And Killers of the Flower Moon 4.6 million. Great, wonderful. Obviously the big thing to talk about, the Marvels, $47 million. 88.5 worldwide. Now I've seen conflicting things saying it's actually like 110 worldwide. I've also seen some conflicting things about what the budget is. I've seen some say it's around 220, but I say it's around 280. When you go to Wikipedia and they show the box office, they show net box office and gross box office, or sorry, net budget and gross budget. That's not how budgets. They've never done that. I don't know why they're doing that. That's not how you calculate a budget. There's no net and there's no gross budget. There's just the budget, and then you get the marketing budget added onto that. I'm going to just average it out for the time being and say right around 250. So you're looking at a film currently made on $250 million roughly. You're probably looking at about 150 in marketing, give or take. It could actually be less because they couldn't do any marketing with the actual actors, like going on press tours for marketing, because they were doing the strike. So it could be more like around 100 million. So let's just say 100 million marketing, 350 budget. That means you made it on 350. That means the film, roughly speaking, has to about 525 just to break even. Okay. So look, it doesn't look good right out the gate. Look, I'm someone who tries to find the good in all these scenarios. Even I'm like, okay, look, I can't sugarcoat how bad an opening that is for a Marvel film. $47 million. That is the lowest opening a Marvel film has ever had. Period. End of story. Not even close. And it's interesting because it actually doesn't have the worst reviews in the world. It's got like 63, 62% for the critics and about 84% for the audiences. So it really doesn't have that bad a review on either side of the fence. So why then? Why did we get such a, let's be honest, very pathetic opening week? Like such a bad opening weekend. Like this is bombing numbers, let's be honest. Now granted, I don't think it's a bomb. You can call it a flop, but I wouldn't call it a bomb, because a bomb would also be critics didn't like it and or audiences didn't like it too, and that's just not the case. So what happened here? Well, I almost want to do a video on it, but I don't. I'm going to tell you right now, if you are going to comment in this video and tell me, look, Marvel's dead, the Marvel Cinematic Universe is dead, you're a fucking idiot. I'm sorry, you're an idiot. Because people have been saying this for so long. You might be even one of those people saying it for so long. And now, as they finally hit a movie in over 15 years of doing this, which is probably going to legitimately lose money. One movie that's going to lose money, and again, you weren't saying that when Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 came out. Maybe you were, and you were an idiot for saying it too then, obviously, because Guardians of the Galaxy proved Marvel wasn't dead. I'm just so tired of people pushing this narrative. I don't know why people want to see companies fail, but then love it when they get back on their feet. Like I get there's like a political aspect to it. Like they don't like the company, but guess what? You like movies overall. You've up until this point either liked the MCU and for some reason want it to fail now, or didn't like the MCU to begin with. In which case, just keep your opinions to yourself, because that's not helping anyone. You're wanting things to fail is not a healthy attitude. So the Marvel Cinematic Universe is not dead. Is this a speed bump? Absolutely. Has Marvel not been putting out their best quality lately? Absolutely. I mean, we have Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. We got You got Loki season 2 came out recently. You had Shang-Chi. You had Doctor Strange, which still made a lot of money. So you still are at WandaVision. You're still pumping out good material, but now you're pumping out less than good material as well. So why is Marvel's the Marvel's one that really suffered? I think there's a good couple reasons to it. One is what we were just talking about. Marvel has been putting their A game out lately, and it's tied to the other. It's two reasons tied into one. They've been putting out too much material. Remember, the Marvels was, I believe, in production around the time that Bob Chapek took over. Now, I'm not blaming Bob Chapek for every single thing. I do blame him for a lot, though. And taking creative power away from Kevin Feige, mandating pretty much so many products being created at once for the Disney Plus service, prioritizing Disney Plus service, it caused a lot of their products to suffer. It really did. We just got too much crammed down our throat. And now it's given this illusion that the juggernaut Marvel is now dying. It's like, no, it's not. It's not. Marvel is still a juggernaut. It truly is. And it can reclaim its juggernaut status. It just needs to, as a lot of people said, slow its roll, scale back a decent degree, and really put time and effort into the creative process. And it looks like we are getting that now in the coming years. They've had to push a couple projects back off. They've had, or not off, but they have, actually, I believe that a couple projects have been canceled. I believe Wonder Man was canceled. But they've had to push some things off. They've upped the release dates to give more time. There's only one movie coming out next year for the MCU, and that's Deadpool. Which, and you know what? That one is one that I think can really restore a lot of goodwill, because the Deadpool series has been separate from the MCU up until this point, and it's beloved. Like, some people might argue the second one isn't as good as the first one. Guess what? It made a little bit more money than the first one, and it's still massively loved. People love the Deadpool movies, and the fact that you're bringing Wolverine back, the fact that you're tying it in with the MCU, I think it's really going to help the MCU brand. A little time away is going to do a lot of good, because look what happened with the pandemic. A lot of time away, even with that stupid day and date release, Black Widow opened with $80 million plus. So a little time away from everything is going to do, I think, the Marvel Cinematic Universe a lot of good. So that's the first thing. Second off, it wasn't like the best marketing campaign. Captain Marvel, despite being a $1 billion film, if you actually look at the Rotten Tomatoes score, is not a very loved movie. Now, granted, the $1 billion clearly says that the audience score number, which isn't verified audience, mind you, which are verified means the people are confirmed to have seen it. It tells you that that was downloaded on purpose, similar to Last Jedi, where people were just being toxic and terrible people. But it only has it only has 79%, which is still a good review score by a large margin. Most films would kill for a review that scored that good. But it wasn't one of the higher reviewed MCU films. Captain Marvel herself is not a very loved character. Like I said in my review, this movie is the most likable she has been out throughout the MCU. And while I love the character of Monica Rambeau, played by Teyonah Parris, and Molly Villani's Miss Marvel, Kamala Khan, I love both of those. I really like both characters. I love Miss Marvel. Monica Rambeau is a likable character. A lot of people didn't know who if people didn't see WandaVision, they didn't know who the hell these people were. So we had to get introduced to these people. So I think because you had to do a little required reading, which you didn't initially have to do up until WandaVision and Disney Plus shows started, I think that really kind of affected this as well. And then finally, the actor strike's been going on this whole time, so no one could go out and market this thing. No actor could go and give interviews, anything like that, which is always part of the marketing campaign, which always helps with the box office. So look, is there a waning interest in the MCU? I can concede to that. There's probably been a waning interest in the MCU. Is the MCU still massively popular? Yeah. Don't try to twist the narrative. The MCU is still massively popular. One film does not mean the entire MCU is no longer popular. You're just trying to spread your own narrative at that point. But does this show that there are problems in Marvel? 100%. Because even the low end of the scale was talking about $60 million. The fact it came in at 47 meant a lot of people either didn't care about this movie or didn't like the movie and then spread the word to not go see the movie. Yeah, again, it's coming. There's a lot of factors going into why this movie ultimately failed at the box office. Now, is there a way I can at least try to keep upbeat and positive with this? Sure. 47 million, not great, terrible, just flat out terrible. 41.5 worldwide. Now, most likely this is not in all of its international release dates yet. This movie could have legs. It could. It could. Like we saw, and you want a perfect example of a movie that proved that legs matter? Go watch Elemental. Now, Elemental was a better movie than this, but it's still Disney. It's still Pixar, which has also been suffering stigma due to the Bob Chapek era of how he treated Pixar. So you have an actual example of, yes, a film can open terribly, but it can have enough legs to keep going and going and going. Now, I'm not saying this film's going to hit $1 billion. This film is 100% not going to hit $1 billion. And I say that hoping it does, just so people can shut the hell up. But what I am saying is this film, there is a road to breaking even. There's a road to not bombing. But it's not a very sturdy road. It is a shaky road with bumps in tripwires and road spikes and roadkill. So we'll see. We'll have to see in the coming weeks what this does. Because unlike, say, with Five Nights at Freddy's, which came out a couple weeks ago and didn't have any competition the previous week, the Marvels isn't as lucky. The Marvels is going to actually have some competition this coming week, which we'll talk about later. Speaking of Five Nights at Freddy's, though, $9 million, dropped another 52 some odd percent, now officially passed the Taylor Swift Eras Tour, 251.9, so $252 million. I guess a $20 million budget, man. A $20 million budget. You factor in most likely $30 million for marketing. You're looking at a film that had to hit 75. You take the relative third that studios take out for their, theaters take out for their cut, and you are looking at a film that has to hit that made, and I'm just doing this quickly in my head, off the top of my head here, that made somewhere in the neighborhood of like $100 million plus profit. And it's still making money. Like, it's still going. So yeah, hey, look, nothing but props to them. Universal's having a great year right now between Mario Brothers, Oppenheimer, and Five Nights at Freddy's. Universal's sitting pretty right now. They had one flub with Fast X, and that was a big flub. But they're doing pretty good now. Taylor Swift, The Eras Tour, made her $5.9 million. It stands at $240.9 million, so $41 million. I guess a $15 million budget. Barely had any marketing, so at best you're probably going with $15 million. And so this film is one of the most profitable films of the year, really, in terms of percentages. So great on the Taylor Swift. Again, I'm not a Taylor Swift fan, so I didn't go out to see it, nor would I have gone to review. Even if I did see it, I wouldn't have reviewed it. There's nothing to review. It's just the songs and watching a concert. So there's really be no point in reviewing something like that. But what can we attribute to what can we attribute to the success of Five Nights at Freddy's and the Taylor Swift Eras Tour? Honestly, built-in fandoms. You go there for the experience in the theaters, absolutely. And then just bringing people back again. Now, granted, Five Nights at Freddy's did not have the best legs in the world. Let's look at Five Nights at Freddy's legs each week. Opened at $80 million. That was a fantastic opening weekend. It dropped 76.2%. Holy crap. But then it only drops 50%, which is very interesting, actually. Honestly, can you imagine if it had dropped the 50% the second week instead? Oh, man, you'd be looking at a film already hitting, if not past the $300 million marker. And by the way, the film is still making money internationally, too. There is a chance, it's on the lower side, because it's still about $48 million away, this film could hit $300 million. I don't think it will, but there's a chance. And so, yeah, Priscilla, based on the story of Priscilla Presley, $4.7 million, has made currently about 12.7 million right now. Yeah, 12.7 million. Apparently, the film's it's a solid film from what I understand. I won't be going to see it, but it's a solid film. Killers of the Flower Moon made 4.6 million. It currently stands worldwide, I believe, 137-ish million when I checked. Yeah, $137.1 million. Again, I mean, look, I think the Marvels is definitely going to do better than this did. That's a given. And given the fact that this is made on $200 million means, oh God, it's just not the best. Not, I don't know. I get that, like, the land was very vast, the location was a lot, but I just don't see, oh God, $200 million on the screen. I just don't see it. So, yeah. The Holdovers gets an expanded release and went up over 463% to make currently, it looks like $4.2 million. Apparently, it's a really good movie. I do hope to see it, but I've got Trolls, I've got Hunger Games this week, and then there's a third one coming out. Oh, Thanksgiving. I got the Thanksgiving horror movie. I can't see all three of them this week. I might have to, like, go. Maybe on Thanksgiving I'll actually go see things. You know what? That might be the perfect time to go see that. Is to go see Thanksgiving on Thanksgiving, because I should have the day off because it's Thanksgiving. But anyway, Journey to Bethlehem. You know, I didn't even check what the box office or what the Rotten Tomatoes score for this was, because this film looked ridiculous. It literally, like, totally, it's like, hey, you know, it's the story of Jesus. Woo! 76%? I am legitimately surprised and somewhat impressed, because this film looked just weird. Let's just do a musical number about Mary and Joseph and the birth of Christ. Oh, and Antonio Banderas is in there, too. He plays the king. How's the audience responding to this? Let's find that out. 93% audience. Holy crap! All right, well, I mean, good on it. It's clearly not the film for everyone, as only 2.4 million people, $1 million worth of people went to go see it. Paw Patrol the Mighty movie is pretty tapped out. Made an extra million this week. God almighty, if a Paw Patrol film ever made $1 billion, that. Can you imagine? It's like, that's what the audience wants to see. More Paw Patrol. Screw these really good storytelling movies. Let's just do Paw Patrol. 188.7. Keep in mind, though, that that's still a very profitable film in terms of $188.7 million. So, Radical, $1.7 million. 13 million plus. Hey, that's something. I can imagine it probably wasn't made on a lot, but it's something. The Exorcist Believer is still kicking around, even though it lost 842 screens. It made enough to be under 50% drop. 131 million. Hey, look, that's a good number for a film made only about $30 to $40 million. Everything else I checked previously. Everything else is pretty done. I mean, you got The Creator. Oh, God. I don't know why I'm so tired all of a sudden. You got The Creator. Oh, Saw X. Saw X actually crossed the $100 million mark today, with all over 500,000 this week, if the damn thing wants to ever upload. Come on. I don't have any internet problem, so unless the box office site, Mojo site, is like updating right now, there's no reason for this thing to be delaying. Regardless, there it goes. I did check previously, yeah. 101 million. I mean, look, it was already profitable, but it looks like some of the international markets must have kicked in. And that's good, absolutely. Obviously, the story for this week is the, let's call it what it is, failure of the Marvels. Like, straight out, the failure of the Marvels. Which, again, really sucks, because it's actually a pretty entertaining movie. Is it one of their best? Hell no. No, it's not. It's not one of their best. Is it good? I'd say it's good enough. I don't think you look at that trailer and you're going in to find the next Endgame or Civil War or Winter Soldier or anything like that. You're just going in there for a fun time, and maybe people are just expecting more. But you know what? This would fall probably in the upper half of the lower half of the MCU. This is a perfectly adequate. That sounds. It's like a perfectly adequate movie. Exactly. That's the problem. It's a perfectly enjoyable movie. And it really sucks because this is Amal Milani's like big screen debut in terms of the like bringing Miss Marvel, Kamala Khan to the big screen, Monica Rambeau's big screen for the first time. So the fact that these characters get their big screen debut and it's just not, it's not as impactful as it should be, really sucks. And also, the audience we were with both nights, because I saw it twice. I saw it with my friend opening night, and I saw it with my girlfriend on Friday. And technically, opening night's Friday, but opening night's actually Thursday. Girlfriend. And the audience we had, which wasn't as big as it could have been, unfortunately, they were all enjoying it. Like, everyone we were there with was enjoying the film very much. And it does set up for future things down the road in the MCU. So, despite how that trailer made it seem like be there when everything changes. It's like, that's not quite true, but it is setting up stuff for the MCU. It is setting stuff up. And so ultimately I would, I hope this thing has some serious legs and that people do actually start hearing the word of mouth and saying, oh, it isn't that bad. It's good. All right, we'll give it a shot. Maybe we'll like it. I hope that's the case. Because again, I'm just sick of people. I don't watch videos, by the way, about the MCU's dying and stuff. No, A, that's clickbait. You are just clickbaiting. Don't even try to deny you're not clickbaiting. And B, it's just people. It's people hating for really no reason on just like, and not even. Let's be very clear. Not even a company. Not even on Disney. On the MCU they're hating on. I think that's the big differentiation. Like, I don't care if you hate Disney. Why are you hating on the MCU? Just because it's associated with Disney? Because you don't like Marvel comics? Why do you have to ruin everyone else's enjoyment with your dislike? I really dislike that. I really don't like people like that. They're just toxic, and they don't understand how movies work a lot of the time. B, they're just they're closed-minded individuals. So again, as I reiterated in the comments in the beginning of this video, if you're someone who's about to comment that the MCU is dead, dies, like, you're an idiot, and I don't have a problem saying that. And you can call me an asshole if you want for that. You can call me someone who doesn't know what they're talking about. I'm very comfortable in what I know and what I believe in. So there's no skin off my nose. Honestly, you're just proving the point that you don't know what you're talking about otherwise. But let's end off on at least a more positive note. What is the box office going to look like? Because we got 3 not just Y releases, but major releases coming out. We got the Thanksgiving horror film. We got the Trolls Band Together. And we got the Hunger Games, Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. I think, based on the tracking, Hunger Games is going to be number 1 next week. I think Trolls will come in at number 2, 20 to 30 million. I don't know what's tracking right now, but that sounds roughly about right. Then I'm going to put the Marvels, because I'm going on the hope that Marvels drops only about 50-some-odd% next week. So I am going to go, because I also put it in like the 20-some-odd million dollar range. I don't know if Thanksgiving is going to make that much money. And then the next one down the list would have been, Five Nights at Freddy's. So I think Thanksgiving is definitely going to make more than Five Nights at Freddy's. And then I'll go Five Nights at Freddy's, honestly. I think based on this week, it's still going to make enough next week to be at number 5. So again, I'm going to go Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. I'm going to go Trolls Band Together. And then I'm going to go The Marvels, Thanksgiving, and then Five Nights at Freddy's. Again, as always, I could be dead wrong. Let's find out. Thanks for watching, though. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you folks for the next one. Later.